some of my friends, their life is
Okay,
gutted.
we're going to bring in our panel to talk about what we've just been listening to here with President Trump in the East Room. Going back to Dr. Lauren Wright, we are talking about this very important bill on fentanyl called the Halt Fentanyl Act. And we're hearing from Greg Swan from Michigan right now, who's at the microphone, talking about the loss of his son, Drew. President Trump bringing him up to really paint the picture of what real life looks like with this fentanyl crisis. So, Lauren, first to you, let's talk about what you've heard and what you think about this bill.
I mean, this is a big deal for the president, and it's all upside because restricting dangerous substances like fentanyl, that's a bipartisan issue. And that's the sort of issue that forces all sides of all parties to come together and say, yes, the president did a good thing here. It's also a great instance where the president is using the office to allow normal people in their normal lives talk about their loved ones and their suffering. And that's very humanizing, and it's a relatable experience to a ton of Americans. We're talking about 100,000 overdoses a year who have been touched by this. So I do think it's a positive day for him.
Right. I mean, everybody, I think, can agree that more needs to be done on the fight against fentanyl. Kaivan, I'll get your thoughts on what you have heard so far and what you think about this bill. Could more be done in this bill? Where do you think we stand?
Of course, always more can be done, but this is good. It is bipartisan. I think that unfortunately, Trump has this way of constantly talking as though he wasn't already president for one full term and all of these problems came out of nowhere. And what did he do on it in his first term? Kellyanne Conway was actually tasked. It's a name you don't hear often anymore, but she was tasked with solving this problem in his first term, and they did absolutely nothing. So it is a bipartisan moment, and of course, Trump took the opportunity to make it partisan and attack Democrats. But it's no surprise the timing of this, right? This is an across-the-board win. It's a positive thing that most people are going to get behind. It's also something to change the conversation, especially at the DOJ level. So Pam Bondi can say, I want to talk about fentanyl, not the Epstein list. And it's very concerted. And it looks like Donald Trump was pretty worn out in that talk, relying on his script. You can see the font just watching. That's how big it is, reading off it, cycling through his greatest hits, and reminding people, this stuck out to me, reminding people that he thinks Democrats stick together. And recently, he's been attacking his own supporters for questioning him about the Epstein files. So I think this is a pretty standard political play.
Okay, well, Lauren, I'm going to give you a chance to respond before we move on to the other politics of the day, because I want to talk about the summit, but I want to get your response to that.
Well, I think actually this is where Democrats sometimes fall into the Trump trap a little bit, because when he does politicize a speech on an apolitical issue and talk about his big, beautiful bill, it sort of underlines the fact that he would rather be talking about other things that are more positive for him than even this bill. And so he's drawing positive attention to his agenda. But I do completely agree with my co-panelist on the Epstein list. That'll have consequences because it's a lie. It's either a lie that there was a client list, or it's a lie that Trump was going to make it public. And that is a sore spot where there's a lot of public interest, and there does need to be an answer.
Okay, we are going to go back and listen in to the East Room right now. So Lauren, Kaivan, stay right there. Let's listen in.